Tonight on News 5 Live, April 1st or else. The unions throw down the gauntlet on their increments. Saldivar says the caucus for change will remain. A retiree says her shipping company scammed her. And Minister of Health says a plan is on its way for mental health emergencies. These stories and more coming up on News 5 Live.
Real unlimited postpaid plans, providing customers with unlimited talk, unlimited text, and unlimited data. Now that's a real great deal. With Smart Plus, Share 1 and 2, and Enterprise 1 and 2 plans, you can talk as much as you want, text as much as you want, and for the first time ever in Belize, you can enjoy unlimited data with your postpaid plan. So come in and sign up for an unlimited postpaid plan and enjoy limitless possibilities. In addition, other plans such as the Flex Junior, Choice, and Select have been boosted with a lot more talk, text, and data, providing you with the best value for your budget. Be unlimited with Smart. It's time to power your dollar with Smart.
Love is in the air, and what better way to spread love than with the Samsung Galaxy? Gift the Samsung Galaxy and keep in touch, share memories, and make new ones. This Valentine's, fall in love with our incredible deals with Samsung phones starting as low as $319 and the Galaxy Tabs starting at $389. Choose from a variety of models from the full Galaxy lineup, including Galaxy A03, A04e, A04, A13, A23, A33, A53, S20 FE, S22, S22 Plus, S22 Ultra, Tab A7, Tab A7 Lite, and the latest released Galaxy Z Flip 4 and Z Phone 4. Enjoy your device with peace of mind, knowing that your Galaxy device is protected by 1-year local warranty only when you purchase from authorized resellers countrywide, including Cellular World, Digi, Quartz, and Odette's Home Center. So make this Valentine's Day one to remember and spread love with a Galaxy.
You know the saying, desperate times call for desperate measures. What do you do when you get to a dead end? Sometimes life just doesn't go the way we planned it to go. And when you're in those seasons of life, what do you do? Where do you go? Who do you turn to? Join Sagebrush Church as we begin our series, Dead End Desperation, where we'll talk about following God in some of the hardest moments of our lives. Be sure to visit sagebrush.church or download the Sagebrush app for locations, service times, and more.
And welcome to News 5 Live for Tuesday, February 7th. I am Sabrina Daly. The Public Service Union and the Belize National Teachers Union members called a press conference this evening to voice their concerns on several pressing issues. The unions want to update the public on the outcome of a joint union negotiating team meeting with the Prime Minister back in December of 2022. According to the president of the Public Service Union, the general membership had to first be informed of the meeting's outcome before calling the press conference. Now that such an exercise has been completed, those at the head table held nothing back during the hour-and-a-half press conference. One of the more pressing matters raised at today's briefing was the current freeze on public servants' increments. The unions are demanding that their increments be reinstated by April 1st, or else.
As it relates to the increments of public sector workers, the Prime Minister informed the joint unions that not only was he not prepared to restore increments in the upcoming fiscal year, but also that he was not prepared to restore public officers on the point where they ought to be when his government decides when to resume the payment of increments. Now you will hear me use the word restore versus resume, and that's because the restoration or resumption of increments is neither guaranteed in 2024. Our position to the government remains: increments must be restored on April the 1st, 2023. There is absolutely no reason for the government to continue punishing public officers by withholding their increments. When the financial secretary came to us, he was clear that the government would have yielded approximately $17 million in savings from increments annually. For the past 3 years, that would have resulted in $51 million in savings. Lo and behold, if it is that the government really needed to freeze increments and continue to freeze increments, then how in the world can this administration justify that in 1 year, apart from passing their budget, they went back to the House for $240 million in supplementals? That does not show austerity, and that does not show a government who is managing the finances of this country prudently.
Another issue raised by the head table at today's joint union press conference is the prolonged negotiation over a collective bargaining agreement between the Belize National Teachers Union and the government of Belize. 14 years have passed since the signing of the new deal. Elena Smith, the president of the Belize National Teachers Union, explained why the process had been drawn out.
We also have the issue of the collective bargaining agreement. And for those of you who have been following us, you would know that we are heading towards what, year 15? Getting to year 15, and we have not yet closed our collective bargaining agreement. I believe that that is history. I don't know which other union would have had to wait that long to conclude a collective bargaining agreement. And there's one aspect to the CBA members that we have not been able to conclude. And for us at BNTU, it's an important aspect because it's one that affects our secondary school teachers. Now, I want for you to just think for just a moment. Imagine you are working, and at the end of your working career, your boss says to you, well, you know what? I can only give you 70% of what you should be getting. The other 30%, you want that, you fight me for that, you take me to court. And by the time you would have gone through the courts to claim that other 30%, you would have spent 10-15 of that on attorneys. So besides looking at the fact of the 70-30, Minister Henry Usher said to us in the meeting that the churches simply cannot afford to pay these teachers, that they don't have the money. Now you own a school, you have employees, and you know what are your responsibilities, and you don't prepare for 35 years down the road when a teacher is going to retire. And then the government will say to us, oh, but then I have no money, they can't afford it. All of us give collection. And those same teachers have to fundraise at their schools to be able to assist their schools. So what are we doing with those monies? Have those schools been audited?
According to Smith, transportation and hardship allowances for teachers are also points of contention. The joint unions also raised the issue of inflation and price gouging at today's press conference. According to Flowers, most public servants fall within the lower income brackets of the government's pay scale. As a result, Flowers contends that inflation and price gouging, coupled with frozen increments, are significantly affecting public servants. The joint unions are demanding that the Bersenio administration develop a mechanism to address this social issue immediately.
This issue is significantly affecting the Belizean public, including our members who form part of the lower income earners in this country. And so while we're proud to be called public officers and teachers, it should not be lost on the general public that our income is not in the higher echelon of society, but rather in the lower income brackets. The vast majority of our members sit there. What concerns us also is the fact that 52% of our population is living in poverty. Another 11% is considered vulnerable to poverty. That puts us as a country at 63% of our people who are on the brink of dire poverty or being critically poor. What's even more alarming, based on the statistics, is that 57% of our youths between the age of 15 and 24 are classified as poor. Then as a country, we wonder why crime is on the rise. I am sure that you all have seen across the world whereby there have been several civil unrests all the way in Europe, Latin America, North America, and as well as Central America. And we believe that if something is not done urgently here in Belize, there may be social unrest coming.
And the joint unions also spoke out against the Bersenio administration's proposed pension reform. Flowers revealed that the administration's plan for reform is establishing a contributory pension scheme that will require a contribution from public servants. According to Flowers, the government's proposed pension agenda has overshadowed their demands for increments to be unfrozen. In this light, the joint union has taken the position that no active public servant will pay into any new pension scheme. Here's how Flowers puts it.
The government will say to you that the pension bill currently stands at $100 million. This, of course, again, has not been substantiated, neither by an audit, because Lord knows every year there is a couple $100,000 missing from the Treasury through fraudulent means by our very own public officers, which means then that this $100 million, if this is what they're paying out, could very much include fraudulent transactions. In addition, we have to ask the question, why would you join pension reform to increments? It's two different things. It's two different things. What Belize need is a tax reform, as the current tax regime, as I stated earlier, is burdensome on us at 25%. What has us here comrades, and the wider public listening, is the poor fiscal management since 1981 by the PUDP. The joint union position, in closing, is that no public officer currently employed in the public service is to contribute to any pension fund. No public officer currently in the public service is to contribute to any pension fund. No teacher, no police officer, no Coast Guard, no public sector worker will contribute to any contributory pension fund. And the Ministry of Finance needs to get that straight in their head. So whenever it is that they rush the establishment of this pension scheme, which the Prime Minister informed that he wants to roll out by April the 1st, 2023, it must be aimed and geared at those who will come into the service thereafter.
Reporters also asked President Smith for the BNTU's position on allegations of predatory behaviors being displayed by teachers against children in the classroom. We have reported on the claims that have surfaced at Canaan High School in Belize City and other reports of similar occurrences in Belmopan. Smith placed on record the union's disdain for such behavior while noting that the accused still has the right to due process. Here is how she puts it.
It's a matter that as a union we do not condone. I must say that up front. We do not condone such actions. And while as a union we have an obligation, we have a duty to represent our membership, we ensure that we do that. And so if any member is involved in such a matter and they come to us, we will represent them. Representing them simply means that we will ensure that procedures are being followed, that due process is being complied with, that the teacher is not being taken advantage of, that sort of thing. But we would not be defending a wrongdoing. And so we as a union, we have raised this matter at all our branch meetings thus far. We have informed our teachers of what we have seen happening, and we have advised them to ensure that they keep away from those kinds of situations where they can be in trouble. Because at the end of the day, wrong is wrong. And we are a professional organization, and we ensure that we let our teachers know that we will not be defending wrongdoing. So we are hoping that we can provide some avenue for our teachers to be able to get some sort of training, to be able to help them to deal with whatever issues they may be facing as it relates to these matters. We have also discussed having a meeting with the Principals Association of Secondary Schools and see how we can team up to provide some support for our teachers.
Online shopping and shipping is a growing business in Belize. A click on the computer to delivery at your door is a much sought-after convenience. Although in Belize it's no overnight delivery, and all online shoppers must find a trustworthy shipping company to get their goods into the country. Unfortunately, for one customer, her choice of shipping company left her with no goods months later, and the shipping company has completely ghosted her. That unsatisfied customer has now filed police reports in the U.S. and Belize about not having received items she shipped in April of 2022. It's almost 9 months, and the incident seems not to be isolated, as others are speaking out about having the same issue. News 5's Dwayne Moody went looking for answers and filed this report.
She said to me, I'm a very hardworking single Belizean mom. She said, I'm running this business on my own. And I said to her, I understand your concerns, but it's not mine. It's your business. And your business is to pick up my box and deliver it, and you get paid to do that. That's all my concern is.
Minette Clam is one of many persons who have taken to social media to express concerns over the service of a shipping company. She says that back in April of 2022, she handed over cash and 3 boxes of items for delivery to Belize, but her items have not been delivered. The company was based in Illinois, where she lived. Since she was migrating back to Belize, her items were picked up from her house in the U.S. and were to be delivered to Belize before her arrival. She's been back since the end of December, and all her items are still not here.
When I decided to relocate, I was looking for a reputable shipping agency, and this one was recommended to me. And so I contacted the business manager, and she came and she explained how it worked. And it seemed very simple. She's just going to come to your door, pick your stuff up, and it's going to be in Belize in 2 weeks. And I thought, this can't be so easy, right? I don't have to do anything. And that's how it started. She came to my home in Chicago, Illinois, in Wheeling. She picked up 3 boxes, which was going to be like a test for me. If the shipment went well, I could use her to relocate all my stuff. And she came in April of 2022. She collected 3 boxes. She got paid in full. And 3 months went by, and I thought maybe I should contact her, or maybe everything is okay. I didn't know. After 6 months, I started looking for her, and I had a very hard time finding her.
When we checked online, we could only find posts made to promote the business and its pickup dates, but the link to the website and social media page is broken. We attempted to reach the numbers on the receipt for the Belize City office, but they were out of service. We did get an email and a US telephone number, and a message to both have gone unanswered at this time. The in-country address says it is on 6th Street in the Kings Park area of Belize City. However, we confirmed with the property owner that the shipping company was evicted from that location in April of 2022. Ramclam says that the same happened in Zion, Illinois.
I drove to Zion, Illinois. That's where she was supposed to have her business. And to my dismay, it was a bunch of locked warehouses. And I thought immediately, I've been scammed. That's what I thought. This is not a business, it's a bunch of locked warehouse. And I looked around and I found the property manager, and I explained to them that I'm looking for this business. And the property manager told me that the business was evicted a year ago for non-payment. And
so that means that when
she came to pick up my boxes, she no longer was in that place of business. And I don't know where she was, I just know that. So I decided to go to the Zion police to help. Maybe they can help me locate where the new business is. And I went and I made a report, and the police told me I am among many people looking for this lady.
During the pandemic, there was a surge in these types of companies. Vice President of the Customs Brokers Association of Belize, Delroy Fairweather, says they are not to be confused with established shipping agents. Referred to as consolidators, these services are more personal, where the person would go to the houses, pick up barrels and boxes, consolidate, and then ship them into Belize.
What people did was get innovative and started ordering online. You have a lot of families within the U.S., the diaspora community, who would ordinarily ship down stuff into Belize. So with that, what had happened, you found out that there was an exponential growth with people who were considered as consolidators, bringing in barrels, boxes, and so forth. Again, like I said, people weren't able to travel, and most people would have just sat down right around their computers and just order stuff. So we'll make that distinction between a shipping agent and these consolidators. The shipping agents are the more established companies who they are actual agents for vessels that operate and brings cargo. Whereas these consolidators then would kind of like rent space, get a container, fill it, and then they would ship them into Belize. So one of the safeguards that I would always tell people is to know who you're shipping your stuff with.
Fairweather explains that there are at times logistical issues, including financial constraints, that may affect consolidators from delivering their services.
For example, the Christmas holidays right here. You had several shipments which were held up not because of the customs nor the port. It was just logistics that was not planned properly, and this is one of the things that people don't understand. You can't just pick up people's stuff and pretend as if you understand the logistics, because there's transit time from the time you pick it up to get it to the port. Then there's also the transit time from the port into Belize. There's transshipment points and all that. And if you don't understand that, then you may say, okay, I'll pick your stuff up today and it should be in Belize by next week. No. What happened, you need to ensure that you can catch that cut-off time with that vessel to ensure that that container is loaded and those stuff are here. And then when it reaches the transshipment port, if the vessel does not reach on time, that's another problem again. But to have goods sitting in port for months at a time, no, that's nothing to do with anything with shipping agents or etc. It has to be that individual who took on that responsibility to bring in those cargo that is a person that needs to explain what is happening. From some of what I've been hearing, and I stand to be corrected, it's maybe lack of financial resources to pay the duties and taxes, even the freight costs and so forth.
Dwayne Moody for News 5.
Just before news time, the owner contacted News 5, where she says that she sold the company a year ago, even though the receipt from Ramclam shows that she used the services in April 2022. She also says she has contacted Ramclam and 4 others to say that they will receive their items in the next week or 2. The owner, who contacted us through a WhatsApp call from a U.S. number, says that she will be providing a notice from last year that was issued about the company shutting down. Coming up, Saldivar speaks on U.S. Department of State's controversy following convention victory. Find out the details when we come back.
Hello, friends. I'm Dr. Bob Roberts with another 60-second sermon from God's Word. The Bible says, "The labor of the foolish wearieth every one of them, because he knoweth not how to go to the city." Before Jesus went back to heaven, he promised the disciples he was going to prepare a place for them in heaven. But what a tragedy that many people will not go to heaven because they know not the way. Some time ago, the famed evangelist Billy Graham was being honored in Charlotte, North Carolina by his home state. Following his introduction, he said, "I have on a new suit. I bought it to be buried in." He then related that on one occasion Albert Einstein was riding on a train. The conductor came to him to pick up his ticket, but he could not find it. The conductor said, "Oh, I know who you are, Mr. Einstein, don't worry about it." And he left. A little later, the conductor came back to find and to discover Mr. Einstein down on the floor, looking under the seat for the lost ticket. The conductor again said, "Don't worry about it, Mr. Einstein, I know who you are." Mr. Einstein replied, "Yes, I know that, but I have to find my ticket to find out where I am going." Billy Graham said, "I know who I am, and I know where I am going." Faith in Jesus Christ will help you too to know who you are and where you are going when you die. Today's 60-second sermon has been presented by Christian Foundations of Faith in cooperation with the Baptist churches in your area.
Todo beliceño merece tener una conexión de Internet de calidad, rápida y confiable en su hogar. Para clases en línea y trabajo desde casa, es la nueva forma de vida. Diginet es el proveedor número 1 de servicio de fibra óptica, impulsando la transición digital de Belice. Y ahora nuestro servicio de Diginet es aún más accesible con nuestro nuevo plan de entrada. Por tiempo limitado, tú y tu familia pueden disfrutar de 20 megabits por segundo por solamente $49 mensuales. No más clases perdidas ni reuniones virtuales interrumpidas. Te está costando mucho tiempo y dinero. Diginet es mejor que cualquier opción de cable o servicio inalámbrico. Visita cualquier Digistore hoy y suscríbete para la conexión más rápida y confiable de Internet para el hogar en Belice. Ven a ver lo que te has estado perdiendo. El mismo servicio de fibra de alta calidad, rápido y confiable, ahora a un precio aún más bajo. Para más información, visita www.livedigi.com/Diginet. Digi, nuestra telecomunicación nacional.
On behalf of the Social Security Board, I extend our deepest gratitude for taking the opportunity offered to be a part of this amazing learning experience. Today, you graduate empowered with knowledge. You graduate with a new skill set that you can put to good use and benefit from it. You have now acquired the knowledge and you are fully prepared to build on the foundation that you have fostered.
We consider ourselves privileged to be offered an opportunity by the Belize Social Security Board to partner with them in this effort.
What I can say is that I'm happy because I'm learning in something that I choose to do.
So we want to thank Social Security Board to provide the funding for that, and we appreciate it, and we hope they continue to provide opportunities like this for more people. Thank you.
Once again, congratulations to the January 2023 cohort Empowering You participants. On behalf of the Social Security Board, I wish you nothing but the very best.
Are you looking for low-cost television advertising? Have we got a deal for you? Advertise on Channel 5's Daily Classifieds. Channel 5's Daily Classifieds is one of the most effective methods for introducing yourself and your business to the community. Use our Daily Classifieds to recruit employees, promote specials, promote your products or services, promote a business opportunity, increase traffic to your website, and advertise items you have for sale. Let us help you to save valuable time and money. Call us today at 280-0013 or visit us at our offices on Coney Drive to discuss how we can help your business grow affordably. Channel 5's Daily Classifieds. Advertise today.
On Monday, we showed you highlights of the Belmopan Convention that returned veteran politician John Saldivar as the United Democratic Party's standard-bearer for the capital city. Even with all the controversies that Saldivar had faced over the past few years, from his friendship with Danny Mason, the Tranche trials with Lev Derman, and the most recent designation by the U.S. State Department for his involvement in significant corruption, none of these issues dissuaded his Belmopan supporters from returning him as their representative. This morning, during his appearance on Open Your Eyes, when pressed by the hosts about moving past these scandals, Saldivar said the people of Belmopan have found him not guilty.
Well, I have a feeling that Sunday should have been
right, but you still have the other voters to convince.
Should have been pretty much the last of it, Sunday was a sample of Belmopan. So let us not think that the 7,000 people who did not come out will just suddenly reflect a different perspective than what came out there. 2,000 people coming out of a population of 9,000 is a significant amount, and I believe a reflection of how the population of Belmopan really thinks. So I would like to dispel that. I feel that most of Belmopan who are not already polarized, because you'll never get a PUP to accept that there was nothing there. But other people, as was stated by them in this convention, this is water under the bridge, I would want to think, certainly in Belmopan. Reaching out to the rest of the country will be a different thing, and I do intend to travel nationally. Let me just state this, if I was on some sort of trial on Sunday, the jury has returned a verdict of not guilty. And I think that is very clear.
And what about his relationship with the leader of the opposition, Shine Barrow? While the two once had common grounds and goals when Patrick Faber was opposition leader, they were on opposite sides of the fence in this upcoming convention. Barrow openly endorsed Saldivar's opponent, George Lovell, in Sunday's race. This morning, we asked Saldivar about the possibility of repairing the relationship. According to Saldivar, for him, it's all in the past. Or is it?
We always have to put things behind us, and we've got to learn to put things behind us. You won't solve problems if you hold on to grudges, malice, and that sort of thing. I am not the type of person that looks backward. I look forward, and I make that clear that I'm looking forward to a good relationship, certainly an improved relationship with my party leader, and I'm hoping that he's looking forward to the same.
Has he reached out to you?
I saw a missed call from him during the hustle and bustle of Sunday night, but we will speak eventually.
As for the Caucus for Change, well, Saldivar gives full credit to that team for helping him win this convention. Saldivar says the caucus will remain, and in his opinion, it is the start of the UDP uniting.
We are already having a planning meeting. Our group, you know, we have the Caucus for Change. We are already having a planning meeting over this weekend where we are going to be looking at all the other colleagues that are facing challenges. And we're going to move in just like we did in Belmopan. I don't know if you are aware, but my colleagues were in Belmopan every weekend, some of them for the last 5 weeks, you know, stomping the ground for me, reaching out to these houses, and it paid off, and we're going to be doing the same thing.
Your political parties move for a caucus for change. Is that the right move or the right fit for the UDP that is right now struggling to portray unity?
Well, that's the beginning of unity.
Okay.
You know, keeping this caucus together is the beginning of unity for our party, because if you can have 15, 16 leaders from our constituencies on one page, which is what we do with the caucus, it is not about disunity, it's about the others joining in. So if we have 17 of us, then the other 14 needs to join in, and that will be one UDP.
The Pan American Health Organization, PAHO, has a regional plan of action on mental health, including developing and implementing programs for promoting mental health. This morning, PAHO launched its Promoting Wellbeing and Mental Health in Schools handbook. The publication is a self-learning guide designed to train teachers, administrators, and others about implementing mental health literacy into daily school life. News 5's Paul Lopez reports.
Studies have found that 50% of lifelong mental health issues begin by the age of 14. Yet, most mental health initiatives focus on secondary education teachers, teenagers, and adolescents.
As we know, prevention of emotional and behavioral disorders continues to be a key global public health priority. It is well documented that evidence-informed psychological, behavioral, and social approaches significantly contribute to positive mental health, reduction of risky behaviors, mental disorders, self-harm, and indeed suicide. Though existing studies have highlighted that over 50% of mental health problems begin in childhood, our observations reveal that most mental health initiatives tend to focus on secondary education teachers, teenagers, and adolescents.
According to PAHO, the region has a critical public health gap. The organization anticipates that launching its Promoting Well-Being and Mental Health in Schools handbook for primary schools will significantly decrease that gap.
Children spend a good part of their daily lives in schools. Therefore, including initiatives aimed at improving mental health literacy during children's time at school becomes a key strategy, particularly as it is imperative to establish the foundations of mental health, promote well-being and socio-emotional development at an early age.
Conditions such as ADHD, anxiety, behavioral problems, and depression are the most prevalent mental health conditions in children. In some cases, those diagnoses are combined. Increased mental health literacy within the region's primary schools can help to decrease stigma and advance the understanding of teachers and students, says PAHO.
Mental health literacy aims to really decrease stigma around mental health conditions and increase the understanding of teachers, but also students, on how to optimize and maintain good mental health, and also improve help seeking. We all know that the quality of the environment where children and adolescents grow up shapes their well-being and their development. Supportive parenting, a secure home life, and a positive learning environment in school are the key factors in building and protecting mental well-being. We all know that early negative experiences in home, schools, or digital spaces, such as exposure to violence, mental illness of a parent or other caregiver, bullying, poverty, they increase the risk of mental health conditions. The schools, the school environment offer a unique opportunity for early identification, prevention, and also for delivery of interventions.
The handbook is designed for easy learning for the teachers and the students, with interactive illustrations from cover to cover. The knowledge and skills in the guide will equip all levels of educators with critical tools to support the mental health of students. They can manage difficult classroom behavior and promote students' well-being and academic success.
I do want to highlight the fact that the handbook's title is promoting well-being and mental health. So we're talking about recognizing mental illness and about learning to do something about it, but also the handbook is aimed at promoting mental health, which is much more than just not having a mental illness. It's really developing ways of interacting that are going to be useful as ways of living in the world in an adapted way. And that's what well-being is, and that's what mental health is.
Reporting for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.
If you would like a copy of the Promoting Well-Being and Mental Health in Schools Handbook, the publication can be downloaded from the PAHO website. The death of Nicole Polonio, a mother of 5 from San Pedro, brings into sharp focus how mental health, and especially mental health crisis, are handled. Is a real and concerning issue. As we reported, attempts were made to get the 34-year-old some type of medical intervention, but that did not happen. Instead, she was restrained with chains and padlocks on a bed and later died from positional asphyxia. Today, Health and Wellness Minister Kevin Bernard told News 5 that a comprehensive mental health policy is currently being devised.
Mental health is a key priority for our ministry. And yes, we just recently brought on board a psychiatrist to help with that. Now, Dr. Musa has been very instrumental in putting together a team that will look at the whole mental health policy. Now, mental health is not just about those who we see walking on the street, homeless. Sometimes we confuse homelessness with mental health, but it cross paths at some point. But to go back to your question in terms of what we're doing, we have been putting priority in terms of how we're going to address mental health. Institutionalizing someone is not always the answer. It's making sure that, one, that those people have access to their medication, timely visits, monitoring. So there's a whole broad aspect in terms of how we target mental health. And we have been working, discussions, the Cabinet has, the Prime Minister a few months ago requested that both our ministry, Ministry of Human Development, the Ministry of Home Affairs come together and work on a strategic plan. So Dr. Musa is our focal point in working along with our team at the ministry, along with those individuals to push the mental health. It's sad to see what happened to the young lady. I want to offer my deepest condolences. I don't support the action that may have been taken by the family. I personally am a human being. I would not have wanted that for any of my family member. I cannot speak to the circumstances of that. I have not gotten any full details about it. But what is out there in the public would seem as if the person was just left there, taken advantage of, and just tied up. But like I said, I cannot speak to that. But what I want to say, though, that at the ministry, we are going to be putting a very strong policy together that we will have to take back to Cabinet for final approval, which I'm pretty sure will be supported. And we're continue to work with our stakeholders, because these are the people that will assist us to develop a right policy and a proper balance. And that is why all of this ties into that whole health sector reform.
After the break, traveling on the Philip Gosen Highway between Ladyville and Belize City, leaving home earlier will help during road repairs starting Wednesday. We'll tell you about that. But first, here's the weather update with data from the Belize Met Service.
I met my husband through a friend, and we got married the year after. All he wanted to do was to be a humanitarian. We had a birthday party for him, and the day after the birthday, he called me and he said, "My wife, I'm having some terrible migraines." We went to the doctor's office, and the doctor gave us the news that it was actually lung cancer, stage 4. He did the first surgery and he was looking good, but about 3 weeks later, he said, "I don't think I could do this." And he took his last breath and he passed away 3 o'clock in the morning.
My name is Marcia Samuels White. I am an insurance advisor for R&G Life Insurance. I have been reaching out to Ms. Palacio for almost 2 years.
I remember my good friend Marcia. I remember her telling me, "Anna, you need to get your life insurance. You need to get yourself grounded and feel comfortable."
I found out that her husband had passed.
I was wondering, what am I supposed to do? How do I now take on the role of the breadwinner?
Everything has gotten real, knowing that she would be that only parent now to provide for the children. She said, you know what, it was time for her to really put what I proposed to her into action.
She said, "Don't worry, everything will be okay. We will work with you," and that's exactly what she did.
I would advise anybody who has family, who have young children that they're taking care of, to think about it. Come in and talk to an insurance advisor. Make that first step and provide that financial security for their families.
I'm happy to be a part of R&G Life. It has really made me feel comfortable to know that I don't want anything to happen, but if it does, that my kids will be set. And I was grateful for that.
What did you mean earlier about climate change, Mom?
Well, when I was your age, I remember beautiful coral reefs and healthy beaches. The summers weren't as hot as they are right now, and the rainy season meant that it only rained when it was supposed to.
And then what happened?
The weather just started to change, and storms got worse. Coral reefs started to die because the ocean was getting too warm, and crops started to die because there were not much rain. You know, we realized as adults that we were doing something that was causing this.
What were you all doing?
The same thing we're doing now. Not using clean, renewable energy, chopping down too many trees, and even polluting the air with gases, such as the gases emitted from our cars when we drive around.
We need to help before it's too late, Mom. We can't let it get worse.
What can I do?
We can raise our voices.
With 35 million dreams, aspirations, and futures at risk in CARIFORUM, we need your voice in our story against climate change. Acknowledge, commit, act. This message is brought to you by the Caribbean Community Climate Change Center under the Intra-ACP Global Climate Change Alliance Plus program and is funded by the European Union.
Love your Honda with Benquip by Land or Sea. Benquip, we represent quality.
Dwayne Moody, Isani Cayetano, Marion Alley, Paul Lopez. Your News 5 police teams do whatever it takes, go wherever they need to go, so you can catch the story wherever you are, whenever you want, on whatever device. Channel 5 believes on television, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, because news is now everywhere, all the time, and so are we.
When someone you love becomes a memory, the memory becomes a treasure. Channel 5 introduces the Daily Obituaries. The Daily Obituaries will broadcast all death and funeral announcements and memorials to honor your loved one's life and memories. The Daily Obituaries airs on Channel 5 prior to the evening newscast, with subsequent repeats at 10 p.m. and 12 noon the following day. It will also be placed online on our social media platforms, all for a standard package fee. Celebrate their lives and memories with Channel 5's Daily Obituaries. Honor in life and reverence in death.
We will never give up the fight. Feel the temperature rise, storms intensify. It's time that we realize that we must work together to thrive. The world as we know it, the sky and below it. Could I never have more wonder? Yeah, with life and all you see, and the climate's changing. But hope is remaining. And we can't ignore the future. It depends on you and me. The Caribbean Sea, it's a part of me. We're all in this together, even if we are apart. El mundo no besó, tú le mundo son. We're all in this together, no son para beyond. One chance, all that we got. One voice, together we start. Take care, the world where we live. Permite a todos vivir. Tomamos la oportunidad.
On Wednesday, the Philip Gosen Highway will undergo the first phase of 6-month-long repairs at 2 sections. The work will undoubtedly create traffic bottlenecks, especially during the peak hours for those who commute to and from work and home using those areas. Today, News 5 spoke with the Ministry of Infrastructure Development and Housing's Engineering Coordinator, Evandale Moody, who said that engineers expect there will be traffic bottlenecks at the roundabout, particularly during the morning and evening rush as motorists try to get home from work. He advises that earlier travel than usual would help.
These 2 projects basically involve, one, the rehabilitation of the roundabout located at the Benny's apartment / Rammer's feed mill that is settling. We have a project for that where we want to install piles at that roundabout to create a permanent solution to the settlement of the roundabout itself. The idea is that we will drive piles to create a foundation so that we could reach refusal in terms of the piles itself, and then create a beam and pile system whereby we will then reconcrete the running surface for the roundabout itself. The second project that we want to implement is the removal of the differential settlement that has been occurring on the Philip Gosen Highway between miles 3.5 and the Hallover Bridge itself, whereby we have differential settlement in the pavement, and this is mainly due to the poor geotechnical strata that is under the road pavement itself. From our ground investigations that we have done in the past, we've seen that from those results we have approximately 40 to 45 feet of peat, which is basically organic material. And so every year or every year and a half you will notice from previous years gone that that road section would go through some settlement, and that is what we refer to as differential settlement. Okay. So the idea is for us to improve that 2.5 kilometer section to make it more drivable for motorists, and that's only a temporary measure that we're doing at this current point in time. We expect that within another year and a half, we will look at a permanent solution, which is piling the entire 2.5 kilometer section. Okay. But because that will be so costly for us, we have had preliminary discussions with some funding agencies, including CABE, where we're trying to get funding for us to implement a more permanent solution to that section of the road. Our idea is to have a very good traffic management plan in place by both contractors. If at least 20 minutes ahead of schedule, definitely that will help.
The permanent solution that Moody speaks of would be to drive concrete piles into the bedrock and rebuild the road over them. An undertaking that would cost a pretty penny in the tens of millions just for that portion of the highway that spans less than 2 miles. The contractors, Peck Engineering, will work on the roundabout, and Tycrobe & Sons Limited will work on the section between the roundabout and the Hullover Bridge. Senior Counsel Dean Barrow is tonight clearing the air on arguably one of the most highly anticipated live concerts for the start of the year in Belize. Partygoers would know by now that Jamaican performing artist Dexter Daps is scheduled to perform on February 11th at the Marion Jones Sporting Complex. But the lead-up to the concert is not without controversy. Viewers may recall that the breaking news artist had signed a contract back in 2020 to perform in Belize. Due to COVID regulations, he could not meet those obligations and the concert was postponed. Well, this time around, he has signed a new contract with new promoters. But the 2020 Dexter Daps concert promoters are not pleased about this new agreement. They believe that Daps should have fulfilled his 2020 obligations before entering into a new contract. Those promoters filed an injunction to stop this weekend's show. That injunction was unsuccessful. The defendants for this case, the shut-down Belize promoters, were represented by Barrow. Today, he explained to us over the phone that the show is still a go.
Mr. Buck, Elmo Buck, I think, is the name. He applied for an urgent injunction to stop Dexter Daps from performing at the concert scheduled for Saturday night in Belize. I was approached by Amir Garcia, who is the promoter of this Saturday's concert, and so I turned up in court on Monday at 1:30 for the hearing of the application by Mr. Burke. I, of course, opposed that application, and I succeeded. The judge refused to grant any injunction, dismissed the application of Mr. Burke, and ordered costs against Mr. Burke. So, injunction refused. There is nothing at all to prevent Dexter Daps from coming and performing on Saturday, and that is what is going to happen.
All right, so just to be clear for our viewers, that Dexter Daps will be performing in Belize on Saturday, will be allowed to perform in Belize on Saturday because there's nothing legally that is preventing him from doing so. And all those persons who may be concerned and have bought tickets, they have no need to worry about whether or not he can perform.
None whatsoever.
Update on the story of Reina Garcia and her family, who have been losing pets and livestock to what she says are problem jaguars. She has lived on the Boom Hattieville Road for over 20 years and recently lost a dog and a couple of sheep. The Forest Department has responded to the concern. Back in mid-January, cameras were installed in the area known as a biological corridor for animals, including wild cats. The images collected from these cameras were recorded every week for the past 3 weeks. Today, a team was back on site retrieving these devices. On site, we found paw prints that would suggest that a jaguar is indeed in the area. News 5 spoke today with Forest Ranger Edwin Gillett as the cameras were being removed. He shared brief details on some of the findings.
This is a camera trap which we set up to monitor problematic jaguars to identify which jaguar is mating at and to identify, because based on the rosette patterns that each jaguar have, you can identify which jaguar it is or if it's a puma. because it's just based on speculation. They're suspecting it's a Jaguar or it's a Puma. So the camera are used to identify and gain more information of what is happening in the area.
How long have you guys had these cameras out? Because I think this report came out from
3 weeks.
So it records for 3 weeks long?
Yes, it takes pictures, and then we come weekly and check, download from the SD cards and download and check the information. And the reason why this camera is placed here, because this is an active trail where we found prints and things of the Jaguar, which is roaming the area. Okay. And the next thing that in this area is a home range for Jaguars. And due to overhunting and development, they have less prey areas for the Jaguars to actually hunt on.
The National Meteorological Service has upgraded weather equipment to monitor sea level and upgraded functionalities of the Surface Climate Database Management System, CDMS, thanks to the government of Belize through the Ministry of Blue Economy and Civil Aviation. The effort, in collaboration with the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, FAO, and Belize's National Designated Authority to the Green Climate Fund, GCF, provided 2 radar water level sensors, 1 measurement and control data logger, and 1 weather-resistant enclosure, valued at US $10,301.33 for a total investment of US $40,201.33. The National Meteorological Service, through the Surface Climate Database Management System, CDMS, provides critical support in climate-sensitive sectors such as agriculture, health, and the blue economy. It also monitors climate trends in rainfall, temperature, heat waves, and other extremes, and shares the latest records of long-term climate change indicators. On September 2, 2022, FAO signed a contract with Eihense Solocoes M Tecnologia Limited to upgrade the Surface CDMS of the NMS for better coastal management, a deliverable under the project enhancing adaptation planning and increasing climate resilience in the coastal zone and fisheries sector of Belize, valued at US $29,900. According to the government's release, the project's primary goal is to enable the NMS to enhance its data collection and management capabilities. This will enable NMS to measure and process basic ocean wave information that could support coastal monitoring and modeling activities, such as monitoring sea level rise, which has yet to be monitored extensively in Belize. When we return, Ministry of Health and Wellness receives cold chain refrigeration equipment.
Smart introduces Real Unlimited Postpaid Plans, providing customers with unlimited talk, unlimited text, and unlimited data. Now that's a real great deal. With Smart Plus, Share 1 and 2, and Enterprise 1 and 2 plans, you can talk as much as you want, text as much as you want, and for the first time ever in Belize, you can enjoy unlimited data with your postpaid plan. So come in and sign up for an unlimited postpaid plan and enjoy limitless possibilities. In addition, other plans such as the Flex Junior, Choice, and Select have been boosted with a lot more talk, text, and data, providing you with the best value for your budget. Be unlimited with Smart. It's time to power your dollar with Smart.
Environmentally degradable plastics, or EDP, are plastics that are affected by a combination of environmental conditions that cause the plastic to break down within an acceptable time frame. They are specifically designed to degrade into carbon dioxide, water, and other biomass substances. The level of breakdown can vary based on standard test methods appropriate to the plastic. Click on the link below to see what you can do to help end the nightmare of single-use plastics. I'm Alison Castillo, and now you know.
You could still come over though, if you watch a movie or something.
Oh my god, I can't believe this happened.
Under the bed,
or in the closet? Which one?
I got 3 boys. I need them to be better men than me. I mean, better men than we.
Please don't go wind up.
Who has stopped me? Hello? Hello? Who has stopped me? Which one I want to know?
For We Family Season 2 begins January 26 at 8 p.m. on Channel 5 and on News 5 Live's Facebook page. Brought to you by the National Commission for Families and Children in collaboration with the National Parenting Task Force and UNICEF. Your life just got a lot less complicated with Belize Bank Contactless MasterCard Debit Card. Introducing our Standard Debit and MasterCard Platinum Debit Cards. Now you can make purchases anywhere MasterCard is accepted with one tap, pay and go. Your contactless card never has to leave your hands, especially in these times. And your card is embedded with multiple layers of security. Platinum card holders get to enjoy extra benefits like price protection, purchase protection, trip inconvenience, and luggage protection, just to name a few. Start enjoying a cashless lifestyle today with the Belize Bank.
Do you have information about a crime or a fugitive in our community? You can submit a tip anonymously with your smartphone. Using this program in safeguarding our community also protects your identity, keeping you out of the court system, and could earn you a cash reward. Here is how it works. Download the free P3 Tips app from the Apple Store or Android Market. P3 is the provider of our secure anonymous tip collecting software. Open the app and create a PIN, but be sure to remember that number, then select your location. Next, select the type of crime. When submitting a tip, be as specific as possible. If you have a picture, video, or audio that will help officers, you can upload them from your phone. Information leading to an arrest can earn you a cash reward of up to $1,000. Once your tip is submitted, you'll be given a tip ID and password. Check back if your tip leads to an arrest. You'll be told how much you were rewarded and how to anonymously collect your cash.
Taking its name from the venerable father of the nation, the George Price Highway stretches 77 miles from Belize City to Benque Viejo. Originally built in the 1930s, this cross-country highway system is the artery that links Belize to Central America at the western border with Guatemala. That connection facilitates overland trade, supporting Belize's economic development. Winding its way across the scenic countryside, the George Price Highway from Roaring Creek to Esperanza has been fully reconstructed to meet international standards, with particular emphasis on road safety. A shorter and hassle-free commute is best enjoyed when everyone obeys the traffic laws. To reduce the number and frequency of road traffic accidents, it means that a seatbelt must be worn at all times and the speed limit observed when traveling along the highway. It also means that pedestrians must use sidewalks and crosswalks where available. Buses should only board and discharge passengers at a designated bus stop. Road safety is everyone's responsibility. It begins with you.
Just 2 years in office, the government of Belize has made major strides in expanding access to education, a commitment in its Plan Belize agenda. In the Toledo district, the San Isidro Primary School received a fully equipped and furnished school building with 8 new classrooms. The Orange Walk Technical High School received a 2-story school building featuring 8 fully equipped classrooms, including an access ramp for students and parents with special needs. A 2-story ferro-concrete facility was handed over to the Calcutta Government School in Corozal, including 5 new classrooms, learning spaces for preschoolers, a computer lab, access ramp, staff lounge, administration offices, and a secure chain-link fence. And in Santa Martha, in the Orange Walk district, a new preschool was built with spacious classrooms, playground equipment, school furniture, and a training component for teachers. This is governance for the people. This is government delivering on Plan Belize.
Are you looking for low-cost television advertising? Have we got a deal for you? Advertise on Channel 5's Daily Classifieds. Channel 5's Daily Classifieds is one of the most effective methods for introducing yourself and your business to the community. Use our Daily Classifieds to recruit employees, promote specials, promote your products or services, promote a business opportunity, increase traffic to your website, and advertise items you have for sale. Let us help you to save valuable time and money. Call us today at 280-0013 or visit us at our offices on Coney Drive to discuss how we can help your business grow affordably. Channel 5's Daily Classifieds. Advertise today.
Dwayne Moody, Isani Cayetano, Marian Ali, Paul Lopez. Your News 5 police teams do whatever it takes. Go wherever they need to go, so you can catch the story wherever you are, whenever you want, on whatever device. Channel 5 believes on television, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, because news is now everywhere, all the time, and so are we.
Whether you're at home, on the road, at work, or at school, if you see news happening or suspect that something might be up, call or text the Channel 5 News Belize tip line at 672-5555. You don't have to give us your name, just give us the tip. That's 672-5555. Call or text us so we can check it out.
When someone you love becomes a memory, the memory becomes a treasure. Channel 5 introduces the Daily Obituaries. The Daily Obituaries will broadcast all death and funeral announcements and memorials to honor your loved one's life and memories. The Daily Obituaries airs on Channel 5 prior to the evening newscast, with subsequent repeats at 10 p.m. and 12 noon the following day. It will also be placed online on our social media platforms, all for a standard package fee. Celebrate their lives and memories with Channel 5's Daily Obituaries. Honor in life and reverence in death.
It's time that we realize that we must work together to thrive. As we know it, the sky and below it. Could I never have more wonder? Yeah, with life and all you see and the climate's changing.
But hope is remaining.
And we can't ignore the future. It depends on you and me. One chance, all that we got. One voice, together we start. Take care, the world where we live. Permite a todos vivir. Tomamos la oportunidad para guardar la humanidad. And I must leave no one behind because we are. One climate, one Caribbean. One climate, one Caribbean.
Ray, what's wrong? It's him. He hit me again. Oh my gosh. This time it was worse. He slammed my face in the wall and threatened to kill me. If you or someone you know is experiencing family violence, call 0800 A Way Out. Or you can text or WhatsApp to 672-9628.
Time to wake up. Time to prepare for the day. Time to learn. Time to make a difference. Time to look after yourself. Time to see your healthcare provider. Don't let cervical cancer stop you from unleashing your potential. Now is the time to get vaccinated. Now is the time to get screened. Now is the time to end cervical cancer. For more information, visit us at www.paho.org/endcervicalcancer.
The Ministry of Health and Wellness has publicized its tender cycle for those who procure medications and supplies for its various pharmacies throughout the country. Today, Minister of Health Kevin Bernard told News 5 that bids have already been made, but that the list of importers has to be reviewed to ensure they can efficiently provide the medications and supplies.
We made a commitment as a ministry that we want to ensure that all bids are collected by the end of, by latest 27, 28, I think, of February. Those have to come in. The committee, my tender committee, has been selected, which involves various stakeholders as well. Those will be reviewed within a 2-week span so that by the end of March, or latest end of March, we are already signing contracts so that supplies can start to come in. So that when these tenders that were delayed come in and are exhausted, we already have stock in place to replace and to continue. And that's the cycle that we're talking about to ensure that we improve. So that when the mid-year come again in June, we start again that cycle, and so that there is continuity in supply of medication. Now, we cannot control what is manufactured out there and what is not manufactured and the number of medication is manufactured. We send out these requests, these bids, these tenders, and then suppliers are obligated to ensure that what you got in your contract, you're supplying to the ministry. Our responsibility to ensure that those medication are of quality, and that's the reason why we are pressing on our drug inspectorate unit to ensure that they go out and inspect those medication on a timely basis. We have to review those lists. You, like everybody, have the opportunity to go and pick up a package, put out your tender, receive your tender, and submit your bid. Now, if the committee feel that we did not get timely delivery with this supplier, and there was a better supplier, that's an option that the committee will decide. I don't make those decisions. Committee makes those decisions, and then it's taken up for final decisions and final approval to the contractor general, then the Ministry of Finance, and so forth.
Up next, celebrating the anniversary of the Museum of Belize with Pen Cayetano.
Messi! Off goal! What a goal from Leo Messi! What an incredible strike from Leo Messi! Neymar and Messi is standing over this. Messi! Off goal! What a goal from Leo
Great
Messi!
entertainment stays with you, and we bring you great entertainment. Next Gen, the ultimate digital experience.
Smart introduces Real Unlimited Postpaid Plans, providing customers with unlimited talk, unlimited text, and unlimited data. Now that's a real great deal. With Smart Plus, Share 1 and 2, and Enterprise 1 and 2 plans, you can talk as much as you want, text as much as you want, and for the first time ever in Belize, you can enjoy unlimited data with your postpaid plan. So come in and sign up for an unlimited postpaid plan and enjoy limitless possibilities. In addition, other plans such as the Flex Junior, Choice, and Select have been boosted with a lot more talk, text, and data, providing you with the best value for your budget. Be unlimited with Smart. It's time to power your dollar with Smart.
In tonight's episode of Culture Tuesday, we'll take you on a journey into an exhibit at the Museum of Belize. It features one of Belize's most prolific cultural icons, known for multiple aspects of the creative arts, including music and painting. Pen Cayetano's artwork can be found across the country and overseas. And tonight, we take him into your homes as we tour the art of Pen Cayetano, a 3-week exhibit celebrating the 21st anniversary of the Museum of Belize. News 5's Dwayne Moody reports.
To see all these paintings at one spot here, I think it's the biggest exhibition I ever have in Belize. Yes, and then I think it's going to be supposed to be an exhibition that's supposed to stay a little bit more longer here in this museum here. I love it.
He's no stranger to the creative arts. Still, on Sunday, an art exhibit was launched at the Museum of Belize to celebrate its 21st anniversary. Curator Ilona Smiling speaks about the Art of Pen Cayetano exhibit as the museum reopens to the public.
Pen is a master in documenting his heritage and his experience growing up down south, and being a part of the Garifuna community. You find that in a lot of his paintings. One of the areas that we find is the most popular is the room that's dedicated to cassava making. His his artwork details each step, and again, there's just so much to learn from all the artworks that you find in here. That's why we made it a point to ensure that we have background information so that the audience can connect the historical significance with the pieces that they're seeing.
An icon in the creative arts industry, Cayetano reflects on the collection of paintings and the inspiration that went into the 75 pieces chosen for this exhibit and brought in from Germany.
It was a great experience to pass through the painting I haven't seen for many years, somebody's painting here, yeah, and then to explain it to the people. I was very happy that they can grasp some of the ideas I have given to them after this painting, right? Because this painting is very important, and it's very important for Belize too. It's been my life to portray my heritage in this painting here, because ever since I started to paint, I was painting the Garifuna people ever since. And then I say, well, if this is the way I'm going to paint these people here, I just gotta love to paint them. Yeah. So my painting for me is an inspiration.
UNESCO has worked in Belize to preserve the intangible Garifuna cultural heritage by promoting its language and music. Cayetano is doing just that through his paintings and music, which he says he will do until he dies.
Well, what I'm doing right now, I'm still painting. I'm still playing music. And I won't stop playing and painting until I die, bro. Yeah. Because then I think that's the only thing I can do. Yeah. Anything I could do, this is the best thing I could do, is to paint and play music. So I find it out that, yeah, I feel so good about this exhibition here, and yeah, and everything. This painting here will be preserving this culture for many, many years.
This priceless exhibit will be featured at the Museum of Belize for the next 6 months. Dwayne Moody for News 5.
The Art of Pen exhibit joins the Enslaved exhibition, which details the rise and fall of slavery in Belize, and the Birds of Belize exhibit. 2 other exhibits will be created within the next 12 months to be installed at the museum. And that's the news. Tonight's broadcast is available at channel5belize.com or on our Facebook and on YouTube. I'm Sabrina Daly. Thanks for joining us, and from all of us here at News 5, good night.